Good afternoon, class. It is Mr. Wong here. So today we're going to look at this worksheet. Alright, so during the Easter holiday, you have to write a newspaper report as your homework assignment. Okay, so please print this out before we continue. You can have it beside you when you watch this video. Alright. Okay, so this time you have to write a newspaper report. So I'm going to teach you how to write one. We're going to look at the purpose, the format, and the expectations of a newspaper report. All right. Okay, so first let's look at the pictures in part A. So can you recognize the place without looking at the words? You can see the, okay, let's look at the pictures. So we have a bridge here, okay, and then we have a lot of tourists or visitors here, and then we have a bay, and you can see the roller coaster, and this one is obvious. You can recognize the cable cars. All right, so the structures or the facilities here are only imaginary because this proposed by the Hong Kong government, because Ocean Park is losing money every year, right? They're losing money every year, and last year they lost around $500 million. Okay, so they might have to close down. Okay, they're closed currently due to the coronavirus disease, but before that, before the spread of the disease, they were already losing a lot of money every year. Okay, so the Hong Kong government has made a proposal to help them out by giving them $10.6 billion. Okay, so we're going to look at this issue. So let's look at the second part here. So we are going to read a newspaper report about this issue. All right, so there are 3 paragraphs altogether. So let's look at the headline: Ocean Park's fight for survival. Can homegrown Hong Kong attraction be brought back from the brink? So brink means the edge. So we're talking about the edge of bankruptcy here. Okay, so we call this part the headline. Please write this down on your worksheet. So you have to tell the readers what the issue is. Okay. Okay, so please read paragraph 1 before we continue. Please read it by yourself. Please pause the video and read the paragraph by yourself. Okay, so class, what should we have in the first paragraph? So first of all, we call these the lead, okay, or the lead paragraph. Okay, so what should we include here? We should include the most important information here. Okay, so the most important information regarding this event or issue. So what are they? Okay, so first we have to answer these questions. Okay, for example, who are involved in this issue? Okay, so this time it's obvious, right? Ocean Park and the Hong Kong government, right? And so what is the issue? So they're losing money, so the Hong Kong government is going to help them by giving them $10.6 billion. Okay, this is the issue. And what else? So how? So how is the Hong Kong government going to help them? By giving them money, right? And then when and where? Okay, and then sometimes we have more. For example, why? Okay, so you have to include all these in the first paragraph, the most important information. Okay, you have to include that in the lead paragraph. Okay, and then next, the second paragraph. Okay, so please read it by yourself before we continue. Please pause the video now. Okay, so you have read the second paragraph. So what I included here? So we have the details right? We have the details. Okay, so normally in the second paragraph we have the elaboration here. Okay, it can be, so this time it is the details of the plan. Okay, and we have supporting examples. Okay, so what details do we have here? For example, we have the history of the park, 43-year-old park in Aberdeen. Okay, and we have details of the plan. Okay, 7 themed zones, so that will be more than 20 new attractions by year 2027. And then we have 10 existing popular attractions. Okay, so these attractions will be upgraded or remodeled. Okay, and we have a new section called Azure Bay. So we have the examples here. Okay, so in the second paragraph you should give some details of the plan. Okay, and then we have a pier. Okay, and a new promenade at Deepwater Bay. Okay, so we have a lot of examples here. Okay, and then next we can see a name. The park's deputy chairman Lau Ming Wai said the business would make good use of the tree houses and campsites in the area to help them tap into the study tour market. All right, so here we have a quote. Okay, so it can be in so this time it is in direct speech, right? But it can also be in direct speech. Okay, so think about what we have learned about indirect speech, how to report statements, how to report questions. Okay, and then we have more details. Okay, so attendance at Ocean Park is expected to rise from 5 million to 7.5 million. Okay, so these are the expectations of the participants, okay, all the stakeholders, right? And then next, please read the third paragraph by yourself. The third paragraph. Before we continue, please pause the video now. Okay, so what do we have here? What do we have? So we have more background information, right? The number of visitors to the park have fallen from 7.6 million to 5.7 million last year. Okay, and then the deficit ballooned, increased, right, from this number to that number. Okay, so we can see that the problem has been worsening. Okay, so we have more background information here. Okay, but I want you to compare the information in the third paragraph and the second paragraph. Okay, so which paragraph is more important? Okay, so when you compare them, you should see that in the second paragraph we have the details, right? But in the third paragraph we have more background information. Okay, so the structure should follow this flow. Okay, so we have the more important information, the details, in the second paragraph, and the less important information, we put it in the third paragraph. Okay, and then we have another quote. Okay, so Brian King, an associate dean of Polytechnic University School of Hotel and Tourism Management. Okay, so we have a quote here. So why should we have a quote? Because remember, you have to remain objective because you're just a reporter. So you are not supposed to give your opinion on the issue. Okay, so don't tell me, oh, I agree with this plan or I disagree with this plan, because this is inappropriate. Okay, you should not mention your own opinion or comments on the issue. Okay, so we have to ask somebody else to comment on the issue. Okay, so that the readers can know, oh, these are the pros of the plan, these are the cons of the plan. Okay, so here we have a quote. So let's look at the quote here. Can they get back to these numbers? Probably, but the question is more on can they get the economic impact by persuading these visitors to spend a lot more. So this is like a quote. Okay, so its function is to sum up the whole report, right? Okay, so we are telling the readers, oh, we're not sure whether the plan will work. Okay, so whether the plan will work or not depends on whether the visitors are willing to spend more money when they visit the park in future. Okay, so we can have a quote or we can have a question, okay, at the end of the newspaper report, okay, to sum up the whole issue. Okay, so this should be the structure of a newspaper report. Okay, so let's look at the chart here. Okay, so remember in the first paragraph we have the most newsworthy information. So we have to answer the WH questions, the most important information here. And then the second paragraph, important details. Okay, so this time it is about the details of the plan. Okay, and then the third one, other general information or background information. Okay, so this is the least important part. Okay, and then we end it with a quote or a question by someone else. Okay, so this is the structure of a newspaper report. All right, so now let's look at the table and let's write down some words. Okay, so here, nature. So what is the nature of a newspaper report? Okay, so please write this down. It should be informational, and most importantly, it should be objective. Okay, so do not include your personal opinions, do not include your comments on the issue. Okay, you have to remain objective throughout the whole report, right? And then, so what is the purpose? To report an event or an issue to the public. Okay, and then let's look at the components of a newspaper report. So the first one, an intriguing line, capturing readers' attention. So what is this? We call this the headlines. All right. And then participant, stakeholder. So this is the first paragraph. Okay, so we have the most important information. We call this the lead. Okay, the why, the who, the where, the how. Okay, all the WH questions, you answer them here. And then the second paragraph, we have the important details. So it is like the elaboration of the issue or event. Okay, we have the important details here. We have supporting examples, we have quotes, okay, and impact, if any. And then the third paragraph, we have other background or general information first. Okay, so this information is the least important in the issue. Okay, it is about the background of the problem. Okay, and then we can have a quote or a question by someone else, okay, to sum up the whole issue. Okay, so this time it is about whether the plan will work or not according to someone. Okay, so remember, don't state your personal opinion here. Okay, so try to ask someone else and include what they say here in this part to summarize the whole thing, right? Okay, and then so this time what are you going to do? Let's look at part B here. You have to write a newspaper report. So you have to report on an issue or event in around 250 words. Okay, and follow the structure. Okay, try to use reporter speech when you have to include some quotes from someone. Okay, you can use reporter speech or direct speech. It's up to you. All right. So does the issue have to be a genuine event? No. Of course, you can talk about something in reality. For example, you can talk about the coronavirus disease. Okay, you can talk about that. Or you can make something up. For example, you can make up a car accident, or maybe a murder, or maybe an earthquake, something like that. Okay, so it can be something in reality, or it can be something imaginary. Okay, it is up to you, right? So you have to type your response. You have to type it up on a computer. Okay, so let's be clear with the formatting. Okay, so it has to be double spaced, and please use Times New Roman as the font, and the font size should be 12, right? And then please convert it to a PDF file. Don't give me a Word file. Please convert it into a PDF file and then upload it here, okay, via this Google form on or before the 19th of April. Okay, so this will be your assignment for the Easter holiday. Okay, and remember next week on the 16th of April at okay, that will be a Thursday at 2:30, not 2:30, at 2:30 we're gonna have a Zoom section. Okay, but I won't tell you the details here because this will be put on YouTube, right? So I will tell you the details, like my ID and the password in the email and in our Google Classroom later next week. Okay, but remember the date. Okay, that will be around half an hour. All right, so if you have any questions, please ask me in our WhatsApp group or via eClass, okay, or Google Classroom. Okay, so enjoy your holiday, and I'll see you in the next video or in the Zoom section. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.